All right, guys, here I am with page 2 of the test review. We've got numbers 4 and 5. We've got a couple parts. I know that on the online assessment, I kind of broke these into 2 separate questions because that was the only way I could figure it out. So let's take a look at these one at a time. I actually think that I reversed these on you on the test because I think it's probably easier to come up with the rule first. But let's take a look. Portia made a table to figure out how much she earned selling t-shirts. So, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20 for the number of t-shirts sold and the amount of money she earns. So as the days go by, she's making more money. For numbers 4A through 4B, use the table to choose the correct values to describe how one sequence is related to the other. So the unknown number in day 5, we're going to find that next. They put that first. I switched it for you because I was thinking ahead, right? But in order to find that, right, there's 2 ways I could do it. One is I could go, well, it's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That makes sense. Or I got to find my rule first. So let's find our rule first. And remember, all I got to do is put a multiplication sign right here. Right? And I go, okay, well, 5 times what is 20? 4. So I put a 4 there. And if I put a 4 there, I put a 4 here. And I've got 25 times 4, which I also know is 100 because 4 quarters is $1. Or I can write it out, 25 times 4. So I got 20. Carry my 2, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, I get 100. So I know that this value is going to be 100, and I know that my rule is multiplied by 4, okay? So this might be easy to find going this way, you just never know. So you can do it either way you want because it's a pattern, all right? And the patterns are related. And it's the same thing down here. Juwan made a table to figure out how much he earns on his job. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then all the way out to 6. Which numbers do we want to use to figure out what our rule is going to be? It's going to be the small ones on the left side of the table. I've got 1, 6, and 54. That sounds a lot better to me than 4, 24, and 216, right? So I want to deal with the small numbers. So it says, write a rule that relates the amount Juwan earns to the number of hours worked. Explain how you can check your rule. So let's do both those things. First of all, I want you to pause the video and just see if you can find the rule. All right, so you're back. I just go, okay, well, 6 times what is 54? Or I say 54 divided by 6 is what? Because it's inverse operation, so either way is the way to do it. So I know that that's 9, right? So what I'm gonna do is put a 9. So when I have to find it, I can do that. So, but my rule is hours worked times 9, right? Equals money earned. That makes sense. How many hours do I work is how much money I make. So I'm going to write hours worked times 9 equals money earned. Now it asks me, how can I check my rule? Well, there's a lot of ways you can check your rules. I can go down the line and see if these numbers match up. I can multiply 12 times 9 and see if I get 108. Or 18 times 9 or 24 times 9. Any of those things. Or I can take 216 and divide it by 9 and see if I come up with 24. So I can use inverse operation to check my answer. All right. And I don't think it asks me, but if I wanted to find how much money he earns for 36 hours, it's 36 times 9, okay, 9 times 6, 54, put a 5 up here, 9 times 3 is 27, plus that 5, 32, we're looking at $324, and does that make sense? Sure does. I mean, if I go from here to there, that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next page.